All right, let's start off and welcome everybody to the start of the 2018 football season. I tell you, it's an exciting day. It's one that is definitely well anticipated. I don't know if I've ever been more excited about a team, a camp, the perspective of getting a chance to get on this field with this group of young men is one that is definitely very special. The work that has gone in through the summer, the off season, all the recruiting, the new faces that are showing up. It is definitely a great time to be a Memphis Tiger. Compliments to Coach Storms and his staff. The work they put in with our football team in this off season and their preparation for the beginning of football camp is incredible. When you see our guys, we're a bigger football team. We're a faster football team. It's the weight room numbers, the strength and development that what they've been able to accomplish has been incredible. You seeing our staff, come together here throughout this off season. Some new faces, some new ideas, a new energy has been incredible. I can tell you that everybody associated with our program is fired up to get on the field tomorrow, and it's like I said, it's definitely a great day for Memphis Tiger football, and we know we've got a lot of work that's in front of us. We know that that there's going to be plenty of challenges that are going to arise, but I know this football team is ready. We have a young team. It's one that we only have 8 seniors on the roster, but it's also an experienced team. We're returning 16 starters, some guys that we're getting back, Jackson Dillon, Sam Kraft, who have started many games here in their careers. We've also been able to add a couple new faces that are going to be here starting camp. We got Nigel Brannon, an offensive lineman from Oklahoma City, and then Cortez Love, a defensive end, outside linebacker here from Memphis, that are also joining our program today. That we're very, very excited about. We'll have a couple other additions possibly throughout camp, but like I said, it's a wonderful day. I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here, and we're looking forward to the beginning of fall camp. Any questions?
Coach, talk about the fact that you got 8 people on the national watch list this year. I think it's 8, could be 9. A little bit about what that means for your program as far as the image it has nationally, and also when you try to go out and look at new kids.
Well, I mean, I think it's a wonderful testimony or testament to the young men that have put themselves in that position. Because to be recognized at a national scale for the top awards that this game has to offer individually, there's a lot of work and performance based experience that puts you in that level. But on the same time, it is still just a watch list. You have to go out there and prove yourself that you belong at that level. You have to go out there and there's certain guys. I think T.J. Carter is a true sophomore. That's one of the young men that are being recognized. Well, now people know exactly who he is, and there is going to be a target. There are going to be a lot of eyes watching everything that they do. So the expectation that they have and the responsibility is that much greater as well. But it is a compliment to our program. It's a compliment to the personnel, and I think it is also a great example to future Tigers to see that, I can put myself in a position at Memphis and to be showcased and to be recognized at an elite level.
Coach, you had a consensus All-American in Anthony last year. Now you've got a chance for the first time in this program's history to have it back-to-back with Pollard. Talk about his development. Talk about just the way you guys, what his talent forces you guys to do in terms of imagination, getting guys,
Well, I think Tony, he's had a great first couple of years, and he's made a dynamic impact in our return game. Last year, you saw his role in the offense expand. I think he was our second leading receiver, and he will be our leading receiver returning into this year's football team. So the thing that has been great for me is to see his personal fundamental development. You see, his freshman year, he was kind of thrown into the fire to say when Sam Kraft went down. That was, he was forced into a lot of action and did a good job. Tony's such a versatile player that he does so many things at pretty dang good. But for for what we want to see in his progression is to become a master at all those techniques and fundamentals. And I think you'll see him all over the field. He is definitely a known commodity in the return game, so it'll be interesting to see how people try to neutralize him. But he had a phenomenal offseason and couldn't be more proud of where he's at.
Coach, for some of you guys, if you're going from being the hunter to becoming the hunted, how do you kind of manage those expectations towards this?
I mean, it's like I said, it's a great compliment that people are speaking highly of our program, that people recognize the progression that has occurred here. But on the same hand, we haven't done anything yet. I mean, this season, we'll have a great start to what. On our path to success, starts tomorrow in tomorrow's first practice, and we have to improve every day. We've got to obviously put in the work that's necessary to be successful. But you look back over the last couple of years, and there's been some great victories. But you sometimes you forget about the challenges and how close some of those victories were, and then some of the times we came up short. Just how important those small little details are for us to continue to push to the next level.
Coach, speaking of that, you got the 10 wins and then you had 2 losses at the end of the year. Some of the players in the spring said, we got to get back to winning. They talk about we want to win bowl games now. And you picked to go back to another bowl, you should. Talk about that as far as having the hunger to not just get in there, but to get that belt, to win the game.
Yeah, that's something that pushes us every day just to be the best version of ourselves. And, you look at the last season and to be able to have a really good year, but to come up a little bit short. Is that our driving factor to be successful? No, but it definitely, we are going to learn from the experiences that we've had. This is a different football team. This is a new team. There's going to be new faces that have to emerge as the leaders. Like I mentioned, the age that we have. But our guys are absolutely passionate about the opportunity. I use the example of Anthony Miller, who is no longer on this team. He's playing tonight. He's going to get his new experience. But when we came in, day one, Anthony was a 4th leading receiver on the previous team. He had to emerge as a go-to guy. We've got a football team now of 110 student athletes that are stepping foot on campus today that all want more, that all want a bigger role, a bigger responsibility, and so they have to earn it. We have to earn it as a team, and collectively, I feel great about where we are. But there's a lot of work to be done.
On that note, would you rather have a team like you did last year, where you have an established quarterback, a bigger senior class, but a lot of guys stepping into new starting roles, or what you have this year? Don't have an established quarterback yet, but have a lot of returning starters, but a small senior class. What do you prefer?
That's a great question, but it's when you look back at different years in experience that you have as a coach, years that set up like this one. I think that's why I have such an excitement coming into this camp, because there are some question marks. There are some unknowns. It was very similar to my first year here and our first year as a staff, that people didn't know fully what to expect. We have experienced players. You mentioned the 8 guys that are on a award watch list. I'm happy we have that. Trust me. But on the flip side, who's going to be the go-to? Who's going to be the guy that when times are tough, that's going to step up and perform at the elite level? And having some uncertainty. I love competition. There are guys that started on our football team last year that are going to have a tough time keeping their position moving forward, because we've recruited at a high level. Guys have worked relentlessly to put themselves in a good position, and that's what you want as a coach. So I would lean to years like this because of some of the question marks that are out there.
Mike, what's the guys that you had on the different watch list? Do you have anybody on your personal watch list that you're expecting to step up to the plate and fill some of those roles?
There's a lot of guys that have grown, and I think. I hate really pointing out just too many individuals because of just the overall growth we've seen in our team. But a guy that I think had an incredible summer was Tim Hart. He was to see what he's done with his body. He is totally bought in to being an all around player. What he did with his nutrition and overall development has been pretty incredible to see and to watch. as you sit there, there's a couple young guys that I think that J.J. Russell, another linebacker that has really come on. Our defensive line is going to be O'Brien Goodson, John Tate. Those guys are really pushing to they understand the expectation of what is needed from them, but they've totally bought into what we're trying to accomplish, and I feel good about that group, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Mike, what are the good things that can come out of quarterback competition, and what are some of the things that can be difficult or problematic?
The good things is you see competition, and the cream's going to rise to the top. I think that's something that when you go in, if there was only one guy and nobody was there to push him, and nobody was there to help him elevate his game, then I think there could be some real problems. But it's also seeing what I like about the quarterback room is there is only one guy that's going to step on the field, on any given play, and so they have to be able to work together. There has to be a camaraderie to help each other, grow while competing against each other. A lot of people ask, when are we going to find out? When are you going to make the decision on starting quarterback? Well, when the decision is made. When it's not necessarily in my hands. It's in these quarterbacks that are going to come out and compete every single day. I'm excited about seeing the growth that they've had since the ones that were here in spring. I'm excited about seeing where they've gone from the end of April to what they're going to do on the practice field tomorrow. They're going to be judged in everything that they go out and work to accomplish, and they've had great summers, and I'm excited about what they're going to show.
Impact on receivers.
Or say again.
Impact on receivers when you've got a quarterback competition going on.
It's for receivers. My biggest thing with them is you got to maximize every opportunity. So it doesn't matter who's throwing it to you. It doesn't matter where the ball's at. You're only going to get so many chances, and especially with our receiver group, it is a deep group. It's one that everybody's looking to emerge as a leading candidate, as a top playmaker. So they've got to go out there. They've got to make sure that they take care of themselves first, and then when the ball's in there, they got to make sure that they, regardless of where it is or who threw it, that they're making the play.
With this defense, are you more pleased with how well you guys did with gaining more turnovers last year, or do you want to see this defense improve at more things such as maybe limiting passing yards?
Yeah. I think you look back to last season. It was a challenge. We had I think it was 6 starters that went down, and we had to force some young guys into early action, maybe before they were truly ready. But the thing that I love is Coach Ball and our defensive staff, and they put our guys in a position to be successful. We knew that we had a top-notch offense, and we needed the ball. We needed to get more possessions, and so that's something that we took a great deal of pride in. Over the last 2 years, I think we're first or second in the country in creating takeaways. That's something that has to continue here. But I feel good about the growth of what we've been able to do defensively, the personnel that we have, and I expect them to be an improved unit in every area, just like I expect our offense to come out and do the exact same. That's what we want to do in every facet of our program.
Last spring, shortly after Hardaway was named the coach, you showed us the practice phones. Any update or luck on getting those as you guys travel to this year?
Well, we're still working some things. I tell you, we might have to be an incentive to being able to play another game at the end of the season. I think we're going to try to work on that one. Can't just give it all to them at the beginning, right?
Coach, with your strong running game, does that help you delay your decision on making starting quarterback?
Say that one more time.
On your strong running game,
Yes, sir.
does that help you delay making your starting quarterback decision?
Really, that doesn't have a whole lot of effect, on the quarterback decision, but that is something that we know has to be a strength for us. And you return 4 starting offensive linemen, a trio of running backs that I think can be all elite players. So that has to be a focal point of our offense. It's something that we've been able to do pretty well in our first 2 years, but we're looking to, like I said, in every facet of our program, continue to grow. And I think that can be a strength and can allow us to be able to rely on that when times get hard.
Mike, how much different is this media day than the one 2 years ago? I know you haven't learned it all, but is it getting easier to be a head coach of a top 25 program?
Well, there's a lot more people now. And so that's a good thing. And I tell you, I'm very comfortable in the role. I'm very comfortable in the opportunity. I'm grateful for it. Every day that I come to work, I truly I think to myself, just, man, how fortunate I am to be able to lead this program, this group of guys in this community. That's what makes it special. And to see the excitement, to see the buzz of what we're doing, it's there's been a lot of work that's went into it, but it also puts a great expectation for what we're doing here in the future. And so, like I said, I'm very proud.
Getting Jackson and Sam back after basically a couple of years away, what do you hope for them? What are you seeing from them in the offseason? What can you realistically expect?
Yeah, those guys, they've had there's been some real trials over the last couple of years that they've had to go through, just in a sense of, physical injuries and having to overcome adversity. But I don't know if I could be more proud of two individuals, because their commitment to this program and what we're doing here shows a lot of trust in our coaching staff, shows a lot of belief in their teammates. All I want for them to do is to go out there and play to the absolute best of their abilities, to enjoy this game, to enjoy the every snap that they get to have, because we know that they're not guaranteed. And they're going to be wonderful leaders for us, and we're definitely glad to have them back.
Even on the sidelines, they've been able to lead.
Oh, no question. I mean, their presence is something that this football team it feeds off of, and we're excited about their senior leadership.
Coach, last season you were the #1 team in the AAC West, and this year you're projected to be the #1 team again. Do you think, is your team buying into the hype, or are you guys trying to sound like a note?
No, I mean, once again, it's a compliment to be recognized. I don't think any coach would sit there and hope to be picked last. I mean, it shows that people respect what we've been able to do. But our football team also understands the importance of what it takes to get there. And we've played in a lot of close games, or a lot of close games last season to get to that point. So it's going to begin tomorrow, and I know our guys are going to be up to the challenge.
Training camp is over with. What has to happen for you to say, this was a successful training camp?
You want to see development at every position. A continuity within each position group that and both sides of the ball, including special teams, that you're starting to see 11 playing as one. And if we can see that growth, we see guys elevating in the level of their play and their leadership, that's going to be big. And now if we leave training camp and those question marks are still there, then it'll be a little concerning with this a couple of weeks before kickoff. But that's what I want to see. I want to see who's going to step up, and when you get in kind of the dog days of camp, man, who's going to help push this team to being able to achieve at a high level.
Coach, you have become more than just a football coach of Memphis, but you've become engaged in the city and things like that. What is it about this city that you like so much that you're able to embrace it? And the second part is, did you have a favorite flavor of when you went out to recently?
This community is incredible, and it is one that is very engaging. It's one that when you walk down the streets of Memphis and you see people wearing that Memphis logo and yelling out "Go Tigers," just the support, because we know the importance of what this program has to offer. It does put us on a national scale. We do represent everybody in the community with how we play and obviously what we do, but man, it's also a great city to live in. I mean, it's people ask me all the time, if you describe Memphis, well, it's culture and community. You go into spring, pick from March until the middle of summer, we're going to have a festival every weekend. The thing that's exciting for me is now, with the success of our football team and our program, now we get to have 7 festivals in the fall. People get to come together to Tiger Lane and to embrace something that is going to represent us on all different levels. And so I take pride in that. I want to be involved with the community. I want to be able to give back and help elevate our city to a level that's at the highest maybe it's ever been.
Special teams has been a strength for a while now. How do you avoid slipping after having to replace 2 starters?
Well, I think there's been a culture that's been established, but you can't get complacent. And I tell you, Coach Lorig has done an incredible job leading that group. The mindset of our top players and the understanding that we are going to. That is an area that we have to win in. We have to be successful if we want to get to where we want to go. But I do believe that's been established, but you can't let complacency creep in. You've got to go out there and in off-season study. I know Coach Lorg has really pushed to at the areas where we maybe have not performed at the level that we wanted to, and we're looking to continue to elevate.
Coach, I think the Fiesta Bowl, I think, is the designated bowl for the top group of team in the bowl pecking order. Do you talk specifically about, hey, look, if we do this, if we do what we're supposed to do, we can go there? Do you talk to the kids about that?
I don't, and it's something that we have to control today. Anybody that's been around this program, we talk a lot about the Memphis climb. Yes, we want to achieve at the highest level possible. But at the end of the day, it takes a step that's right in front of us for us to be able to get there. If we get our vision too focused on the top of the mountain, we could slip well before we ever get close to that. And that's why tonight's meeting, just starting in tomorrow morning with walkthroughs and tomorrow afternoon's practice, every one of them matter. Every one of them count. And so we've got to do all the steps that are necessary to be able to go 1-0 here in a few weeks. And if we do that, then we'll be well on our way to hopefully success.
One more in the back. So it's a lot of, turnover, losing some key players, but talk about specifically this offensive line. How much is that going to help, especially with the quarterback position, up the draft?
That's going to be a critical part of our football team, and obviously we have 4 returning starters, but the thing about the offensive line, you have to have 5 guys that truly go out there and are one unit and one group, and so I like the leadership that we have. We do have 3 seniors. 3 of our 8 seniors are up front on the line, and so I think that can be a strength. But if they play to the level that they're capable of, I think that's going to make everybody around them better. It's going to make our running game better. It's going to make our passing game better. I feel very confident where we are, but it's going to be fun to see who's going to be that 5th guy that's going to emerge to be a part of that first unit.